Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Ask Barry V Show. I'm Barry Vanover. This is Miles Baker. Let's go ahead and begin with our sponsors of the show. Again, our sponsor is Studio Pro. Studio Pro is martial arts management software designed by martial artists for martial arts schools particularly. This is not software from health club industry that's had a few changes that has been made for the martial arts. Yep. This is everything that is designed that a martial arts school owner wants to track. It includes your point of sale. It does automated billing, so you can do your own billing. You don't need to use a billing company. Everything from, of course, simple things like keeping accurate attendance, which is one of the most important parts of any software, to the diagrams and the stats to keep up with your numbers, your lead tracking software, your automated email marketing, and so on and so on. And of course, it is mobile friendly. You can do all of this on your iPad or your phone and check on all your multiple locations from your phone while you guys are in the Bahamas hanging out, chilling. So go to yourstudiopro.com, click a button, and go ahead and fill out the information to schedule your live tour of the software today. Next thing I want to do is just basically plug our new website. It's barryvanover.com. On this website, you're going to be able to see all of our consulting programs, all of our one-off programs like Kids Safe and Summer Camp, our new women's self-defense program, and so on, so on. All of it's on that one page. On that one site, you can ask questions for this show. That is the only place we're taking questions now. So go to barryvanover.com, scroll down slightly. You'll see an area with a button where you can click and simply ask a question for the show. All the show episodes are on this site, plus the Black Belt Business, that free content that we give out, consulting content, that's always on this new site. So everything you need is right there at barryvanover.com. So go check it out. You also have a new sponsor this morning.
Yeah, I came across a product. We were, as you know, in Los Angeles working for a client, and Premier Martial Arts school owner David Dunn had an opportunity to take me to Jean-Jacques School, which was
Jean-Jacques Machado.
Yeah, which was an amazing experience, as you can imagine. So I would highly recommend anybody that could take up that opportunity to do so. But while I was there, I came across this product. It's called a Grip Tap. For all you guys out there, they're always fighting the grip tape, and some people actually have allergic reactions to the adhesive.
Now, to explain what you're talking about is sometimes they're taping, one finger gets injured, and they're taping a couple fingers together to support the injured finger.
So this is great for veterans, but this is really good for the white and blue belts. You know, it took me maybe 2 years to figure out how to actually wrap my fingers, right? So these are sleeves that go right over your fingers. They're washable, reusable, and just protect your fingers.
And it puts the two fingers together, whichever two are injured, the one nearest together without using just normal tape.
Genius product. So you can check this product out at lutagear.com. So just wanted to give them a shout out and check out.
How do you spell Luta?
Luta, L-U-T-A gear.com.
L-U-T-A gear.com. Awesome. Now, and the gentleman that invented that was working out with you.
Yeah, he's one of the black belts, one of Jean-Jacques' black belts, and he was a great guy. And I was asking him about I noticed some other people in the class had him on their fingers, and he was actually the inventor of it. So it was really cool.
Yeah, that is very cool. Yeah. All right, let's jump into our questions
today. Good questions this week. The first one comes from John H. He says, your info on freezing memberships was great. Thanks for doing that. I do have a follow-up question on this topic. We do not freeze payments, but when a student is injured, we do extend their membership time for the injury. Do you think this is a good idea? We feel it's just a nice customer service policy. What are your thoughts?
Hey, I'm all about customer service, and that's the key thing. Great martial arts, great customer service, great business systems. Those three things are all you need to be successful, right? The problem with doing that I see, and I get where you're going with it, they got injured either outside your school or inside your school, and you're offering to add on time to the end of their membership. The problem is, if you do that a few times, it could get word around the school that you'll do that, and then you're having people ask, hey, what about I'm going on vacation? Can you extend time to the end of my membership for being off on vacation? There's nothing wrong with it putting a little time on the end of somebody's membership if you want to do that. I just don't think it's necessary. So I really don't have a steadfast opinion on this, because I can see the customer service angle, that it's not going to hurt to add on a month to a membership. But at the same time, I can see the business angle. If you're doing this for a bunch of students, or if they start asking you to do it for vacations and I got to take off 3 months for my son to play soccer, now you're extending memberships 2 and 3 months. I can see this snowballing, getting out of hand a little bit by people hearing about what you're trying to be nice for somebody's injury and them taking advantage of it. I would much rather you just simply offer, from the time they're out, offer some free private lessons. And those are, remember, group privates. So you would have all your instructors couple Saturdays or 2 or 3 Saturdays before grading and testing, graduation, conduct these big group mass intros. People that need to make up time are coming for the private lesson, and your CIT team, your assistant instructors, your instructors, and even your older leadership students are helping work with everybody and get them caught up. Than to do a policy where you're adding time on to the end of a membership. Now, that said, I think if that's where your heart is and you feel like that's the right thing to do, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. Main thing is just don't freeze the monetary monthly payments. That's where I was going with it.
Our next question comes from Kevin M. He says, hello, sir. 2 questions for the Ask Barry V show. What are some good procedures for a one-man show to have in place to deal with walk-in inquiries during the middle of class? That's a good question. And second question is, what are some general staffing needs to focus on if running the summer camps?
Okay. So let's go to your one-man show. You're rocking out a class, and in walks in somebody interested in martial arts for their kids. And there's your one-man show. You don't have a front desk person yet, and you don't have nobody to talk to him. First off, try to train in every class, have a couple older students that you know could take the class over. If it's no more, and remember, this could be a really big highlight for a student. You don't have to do any special training, but just know in your mind, maybe if somebody walks in, all you need is 30 seconds to 45 seconds to handle this. And then you stop the class and you pick your brown belt 12-year-old girl. Hey, all right, now listen, here's what we're going to do. I want you to lead everybody here through 20 of the best squats or 10 push-ups, or lead everybody through a front leg roundhouse review real quick, okay? That makes that kid feel special because they're leading the class, keeps the class going while you have a chance to run over. And what I would do is we have what's called a Communicate With Us card for this very reason. It's a 4x6 postcard type thing. And on it says, communicate with us. And it has all the ways that a parent or a person can communicate with their school. The owner's name, their email, their contact number, their Facebook URL, so they can message us, even numbers that they can text us. So running over real quick and explaining to the parent, hey, how are you guys doing? Or the adult student, I'm glad you guys stopped by. Please sit down and watch. If I have time at the end of class, between classes, I can speak to you for a minute. But if you don't have that time, because this class is going to last another 20, 30 minutes, please contact me at one. It has our website. Contact me at one of these methods. I'd be glad to set up a time for you to come back when there's no classes going on and spend some time talking to you, and even doing an introductory lesson with your child. That's one quick thing you could do. And besides that, you could also have a stack of information sheets. And if you would or give them the Communicate With cards and say that, and then say, and if you want to fill out this information, I'll give you a call tomorrow or between classes and set up that time for you to come in. You went over there for 30, 45 seconds. You took care of the situation. You showed great customer service, and you bounced right back to the floor. You made one student feel good for letting them lead something in the class, and then you're right back on the class. You didn't even miss a beat. That's how we tell our S1X staff to handle walk-ins when they're the only employee on the floor.
Absolutely, yeah. That Communicate card's been priceless for us in all the schools, that's for sure.
Yeah, that, and then simply having a place where they can put their information so you can follow up. Yeah, because you want to gather their information. Absolutely. Take that email, drop it in your email funnel, give them a call, schedule time. Go ahead and schedule the intro on the phone. Yeah.
So his second question was, what are some general staffing needs to focus on if running the summer camps? Summer camps and one-man shows. Yeah.
Right. So one, make sure your camp is well organized. If you haven't seen our summer camp programs, look at masummercamps.com. That's more marketing and theme ideas and some curriculum for the classes, but it's also some paperwork to help organize your camps. So make sure the camps are really organized. You've got a detailed schedule of what's happening every minute of the day, from this time to this time, this is going on from this time to this time, and really map it out. Don't use your regular martial arts staff members to work your summer camp. Don't use your instructors. You don't want them there working all day long and then trying to teach awesome classes at night. So try to staff your camp with non-instructors, non-regular staff members at your school. In Tennessee, rules for keeping kids is a 1 to 22 ratio. I think that's almost too many. I'd rather see a 1 to 12 or 1 staff member to 15 or so students. But, depends on how good the staff member is. But, remembering that, keeping it within that 1 to 20, 18 type range so that you've got enough employees to really pay attention to the kids, and make sure who is working the summer camp is well trained. CPR, make sure they know the rules and regulations, make sure they're keeping the doors locked, make sure their eyes are on the students, make sure those staff members are keeping their eyes on the students, paying attention to what's going on, and they're not sitting over in the corner on their cell phone texting somebody while one little kid walks out the front door and ends up down the street somewhere, or two kids something happens, a kid gets hurt at your school. So, the liability to this, you might have insurance that covers if a kid gets punched in the nose or is running down the hallway and trips and falls. But liability insurance is not negligence. Right. It does not cover negligence. And negligence is just something that's out of the norm where it's your fault. You or your staff didn't pay attention. Negligence isn't covered under these situations. So if you're going to take care of kids during the summer for any type of camp, you better take it serious, because it opens you up for all kinds of liabilities.
Absolutely. Our next question for this week comes from Tibber G. He asked, I feel like my classes are a little flat and kids sometimes don't seem so attentive and excited. Any ideas to bring a burst of excitement and energy to my classes?
Well, Tibber,
I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
I don't know.
Yep.
Wasn't there anyway, I would totally get off tangent on that one. Anyway, Tibber, man, that's pretty awesome that you admit, an martial arts instructor his classes are a little flat. Because when we talk to school owners, they never, my class,
need help is
my retention is awesome. I never lose a student. My classes are great. That's not our problem. Marketing's our problem. How many students you got? 75. How many years you been in business? 5 years. How many students you average signing up per month? 8. You have a problem because people are quitting faster or as fast as you sign them up. So people don't want to admit there's an issue with their classroom. So congratulations and kudos to this guy for noticing and admitting that his classroom floor might need a little bit of help. If I was looking at schools and when I'm doing school evaluations and traveling, one common thing we see is there's no drill for skills and there's no mat chats. It's all about curriculum, and there'll be a few fun games, or they'll try to make up some fun, exciting warm-up action, but that's not the same thing. I would look into a real drill for skill program for your school. These are fun, exciting drills that use the basic skills of the martial arts in an entertaining, educating way that disguises repetition. This is your chance to use music. This is your chance to call and yell, "Good job," and call the student's name in class. And it doesn't matter what style you're teaching. This is an 8 to 10 minute segment of every martial arts class for kids, especially students, that will drive the energy high. And then I think to show true character development value, you need an organized character development program for your classes. Now you feeling good about what you're doing. You're taking the time, that 3 to 5 minutes of every class, not even 5, really like 3 minutes of every class, to sit down and have a conversation with the kids that can make them better people and show more tremendous value for your school. So those are 2 things fast that I would look at. Now, next thing I would do is come October, first weekend in October, 6, 7, 8, I think, Knoxville, Tennessee, here at our Premier Martial Arts National Training Center. We run an instructor college for the first day and a half. And I would try to come to that and bring any of your instructors to that, because we're going to talk about body language. We're going to talk about voice quality and tonality. We're going to give you tons of different ways to structure classes, just changing the structure of the class so that you're not lined up the exact same way every single class a kid takes is a way of changing the excitement of the class. So there's tons of stuff you can do. And of course, I didn't mean to plug it, but I'm going to anyway. You can look at our instructoruniversity.com. We have an online instructor college there. Our Drill for Skill program, 6 Qualities of a Champion, is there. And our character development program, Black Belt Excellence program, is all content, tons and tons of videos organized right at your fingertips. So,
very nice. Our last question for this week comes from Steve H. He asks, he's got a good problem here. He says, my school is growing to the point that I'm thinking of moving to a bigger location. I'm trying to decide if to move, and if I do, should I have 2 classroom floors so I don't run out of space again?
Wow, there's so much to that, man. Should you move? Do you need more space? Do you need 2 classroom floors? I don't know how many students you've got, how fast you've grown. I don't know all of those details, but I know one thing: before I would ever move, unless you're in a bad location, if you're in a terrible location, move, right? I'm talking about moving for the sake because you feel like your classes are getting too crowded, and moving to get more square feet. Now, those are the real conditions and questions. So if you got a bad location, the answer is absolutely. And your lease is over, get out of there, right? Because you're killing yourself being in a bad spot. As far as move, if you're in a good location, to try to move and increase your expenses to more square feet or 2 floors, I would say first thing I would do is look at my class schedule. What can I do to my class schedule to put more people in that same square foot classroom floor? What can you do with your curriculum? What can you do with your attendance requirements? Requiring that everybody can only come 2 times a week to an exact class. So little Billy's coming Monday, Wednesday at 4. That's it. You might have another class on Mondays and Wednesdays that is his same belt and age range, but he can't come to it. Only Monday, Wednesdays at 4. He can't come Tuesday, Thursdays at all. So that's going to limit the number of people in each class, which allows you to put more people in there. So those are the schedule, that attendance requirement, all of that type of thing I would look to way before trying to move to a larger place if you're in a decent location now. So look at those types of things first. Now, 2 classroom floors I don't think is a good idea anyway, because what happens is you use that second floor 1 class, maybe 2 classes a day, and it sits there empty the rest of the time, and it's wasted space. So I would rather see you create an awesome 1 floor schedule first. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions, you can also go to barryv.com and communicate with me a personal message, a personal question, and I can respond and help you a little bit there.
All right, that's it for questions.
All right.
Tip of the show.
Tip of the show is, for social media, being that Instagram and Facebook is so popular right now, getting people to check in, your students to check in when they're at your school, is great free advertising. It's great free social proof to the community, right? That there's something awesome happening at your school. I saw a lady was scanning and a lady put feeling excited at Premier Martial Arts, right? So whatever, I thought it was really, really cool. And you want to encourage people to check in, and sometimes just have reminding them or having a sign, please check in, isn't quite enough. So, some ideas would be, especially for your adults, a free bottle of water. If they check in and they show the front desk that they checked in, they get a free bottle of water to take to class with them. You can go to Sam's or Costco and buy water for 20 cents a bottle, right? That's the best money you could spend there. Now, kids, whether they want a bottle of water to have their parent check them in, they could, but you could also do a ticket reward system. Now, 2 ticket reward systems. One we always do is we're always giving, every month we have a Parents Night Out event. At every Parents Night Out, we give away some really, really cool prizes. And how the kids win those prizes, it's random ticket drawing for those prizes. They earn tickets every time they come to class. They get a ticket that they can use to win. Sometimes they get extra tickets for referrals that month. And then at the party itself, they're playing relay games, and the team that wins different types of relays, get more tickets. And then we watch a movie, and as we're watching the movie, we're writing questions. And to make sure they're paying attention to the movie, we'll do questions about the movie and give kids tickets that can answer the question. Then we put all the tickets in container and random drawing. Well, you could simply make that part of your ticket reward program, that anytime a parent checks in at the school, you're going to give them a ticket or 3 tickets to their child for winning prizes at the next Parents Night Out. You could even have a check-in prize only. So it's this one prize that everybody is earning tickets for every month, and make it a cool prize that they want to check in and they're wanting to win it. And before you know it, what you've done is you've trained your parents to just check in every time they come to your school and your adult students. And that's a great idea. And I'm sure there's a lot of different ways that you could do check-in contests. And as a matter of fact, when you go onto BarryVanover.com, in the message area, message us ideas that you use for the check-in contest, and we'll share it on the next few upcoming shows if you've got any better, more exciting ideas to use for your check-in system. So that's it. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time on the Ask Barry V Show.